All right, so I got to remind myself to keep my hype levels in check. But guess what? We have official news today about Assassin's Creed Japan, which is now officially known as Assassin's Creed Shadows. And we've got a teaser that tells us to expect a reveal trailer May 15th at 9 a.m. PT. I am going to have a breakdown of that for sure. But also, in this video, we're going to go over some gameplay details you can expect from this one, according to very recent leaks. What about the map size compared to Valhalla, compared to Odyssey? What could it be grabbing from Ghost of Tsushima? This is one of my favorite open world games ever. And yeah, we're going to go over all of it right now. But yes, what do you guys think of Assassin's Creed Shadows? I've seen so many opinions about that title. Some people like it, some people hate it. Sound off in the comments down below. But anyway, let's get into these leaks. Remember, take these with a grain of salt. Let's start out with the graphics engine because apparently some really cool stuff is happening there. So check it out. It says Assassin's Creed Red rumored to be the first series entry with ray tracing. I think this one is going to pan out to be true. Let's see what type of frames they can pull off on console. Usually we get stuck around 30 frames per second with ray tracing as an option. PC depends on your machine. Now it says, and while that radio science continues, some unofficial insights into Assassin's Creed Red have now surfaced online, courtesy of Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson. Now, the big picture stuff outlined in the new report mostly revolves around the game's purported engine change, with sources close to the project alleging that Red will use an updated version of the company's internal Anvil engine called Anvil Pipeline. I think that's going to be true. I don't think they would ever switch to Unreal Engine 5 because their engine is stunning. What they did with Assassin's Creed Mirage, with the lighting part of it, was just fantastic. And yeah, it goes on to say that yes, ray tracing should be a thing this time around. Again, I think that's a given, and that's going to be true. Now, can it outdo what we're seeing right here, Ghost of Tsushima, in terms of visuals? This game is like, I wouldn't say it's old, but it's definitely not new, and it still is one of the best-looking PlayStation exclusives, at least in my opinion. It is just gorgeous. The art style alone, just look at that. But anyway, they have a lot of competition. That's what I'm saying. Now, also, this system right here is apparently being overhauled, the Parkour System. So it says the engine switch is understood to be motivated by Ubisoft's desire to streamline the development of future installments in the franchise. Up until now, the company's many Assassin's Creed studios have all predominantly worked with their own branches of Anvil. While technology standardizations of this sort could help shorten the development cycles of future entries, the undertaking is also said to require laying some groundwork that hasn't been revised in a while. Assassin's Creed Red is hence set to do a complete overhaul of animations and core systems such as parkour and dynamic weather, Henderson reports. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people feel like it is time anyway. There was some controversy when Assassin's Creed Mirage released. That parkour system also felt very dated. I think a lot of people are wanting something that's snappy, fast, very responsive, and isn't slow. I think that's what they think of when they think a ninja racing across the rooftops in feudal Japan. So there's so many cool things they could do with the parkour system. Now, it goes on to mention the combat system. So let's talk about that. It says, meanwhile, the game's combat is purported to resemble that of Valhalla, with a report specifically mentioning that Red will feature a lot of gore, including decapitations. Enemy dismemberment wasn't present in Mirage, but was a frequent outcome of fights in Valhalla. In terms of stealth, Henderson listed the ability to extinguish torches, hide in foliage, and go prone at will, as some of the mechanics will be available in the game. That particular claim matches a late 2023 leak alleging that Assassin's Creed Red will take a page out of Sekiro's book and feature a grappling hook. Yeah, all this stuff makes sense. I'm just relieved to hear. I was kind of getting worried there. I just hope that stealth is not on the back burner. That really, really worries me. I'm kind of curious your take on this as well. Do you want this to mirror more what Assassin's Creed Mirage did in terms of its gameplay loop, which was more focused on stealth? If you got into combat, the idea was you kind of had to get out of there if it got overwhelming. That's how they set it up. This sounds like it's taking more of the Odyssey Valhalla approach. So I'm a little bit apprehensive, but at the same time, also kind of curious to see what happens with it. I hope that that stealth is truly like a core option that you can go with, and the enemies do feel particularly dangerous if you're overwhelmed. I always thought that's an important Assassin's Creed mechanic where, sometimes you have to get out of town to survive, to move on to the next fight. Now, we also have this right here. It says Assassin's Creed Red may take Valhalla's settlements to the next level. Now, it says one final detail mentioned in the report concerns the evolution of Valhalla's settlements. Now called a Hideout, the new hub location will be even more customizable, allowing players to go as far as to decorate the interiors and exteriors of their buildings. I always love this sort of thing, deciding on everything from roof designs to weapon and armor display arrangements. Now, Ubisoft's latest financial report suggested that Assassin's Creed Red will release during its forthcoming fiscal year, which dovetails with previous reports indicating the game is targeting a November 2024 launch. We'll be finding out, I think, the release date with the reveal trailer. But yeah, what about map size? Let's talk about that. Again, this is all according to leaks. Who knows what's true? It says reportedly Assassin's Creed Red's map will be larger than Valhalla's, but smaller than Odyssey's, which means it will be pretty huge, likely incorporating a vast amount of Japan. I've heard rumors that this is going to be like the biggest Assassin's Creed ever made. But again, like for me personally, I've always said this map size isn't the most important thing to me at all. It just matters that they have a good game. Some of my favorite open world games don't have particularly big worlds. And yeah, we also have some other leaks here as well, talking about this right here. It says there's also a wide range of new gameplay mechanics that were leaked by Jonathan in his newest video. Grapple hook tools like Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima, different stances with the ability to go prone and crawl through grass. Kind of curious about the stances, if it's going to be in regards to everything as well as combat, because stances worked very nicely in Ghost of Tsushima. One of my favorite parts about that game, rotating between the stances dependent on what enemy you're facing. You know, they got to be careful not to outright steal concepts from other games. They have to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, of course. So that's going to be the challenge. And then there was Rise of the Ronin that did come out more recently. So there's been kind of a saturation with Feudal Japan type open world games. But I want more. You know, I recently got done watching Shogun. It is one of my favorite TV series ever. I'm not joking. It was that good. Highly recommend it. It's on Hulu if you've missed out on it. I think a lot of you guys will love it. But it would be the perfect companion piece to Assassin's Creed Shadows. But anyway, let's get back into these supposed gameplay details here, according to this leak. Now, they say better stealth, with the player being able to make use of darkness and create dark spots to hide in the shadows. NPCs can defend themselves a lot better than ever before. There will be a feature that will allow the player to recruit certain enemies to function as spies. This is very cool. And yeah, I recently got done watching the Netflix Japanese Feudal Japan Shogunai series and then Shogun. So this sounds like it could be on point, because saying that NPCs could defend themselves, that's very much with the history books as well. You know, villagers being able to arm themselves. A lot of them were, you know, former samurai. Some of them were Ronin as well. So yeah, and then villages were also full of splinter groups. A lot of cool stuff. So much potential for them to get this right. So I'm crossing my fingers that they get this one right. And apparently there's a choice of playing as either a female protagonist or a male protagonist, as you can see right here. Our female protagonist will wield a kunai, shuriken, and smoke bombs and bells, likely suggesting she'll be more agile, stealthier character than Yusuka, who's historically is reported as being very strong, even being adept as a sumo wrestler. So yeah, maybe there's gonna be some sumo wrestling in this game as a mini game. No, I don't know if they're gonna go that far with it or not. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's the latest happenings around Assassin's Creed Japan, now known as Assassin's Creed Shadows. You know, I don't care about the title. I feel like it's fitting. I mean, of course, you know, if we're talking about ninjas and stealth through Japan, but some people are like, ugh, sounds like something a 12-year-old made up. But, you know, I don't mind it. I think it fits with what we're talking about anyway. But yeah, that's the latest happenings around Assassin's Creed Japan. Stay tuned for more news and info. I hope to break down the upcoming trailer here on May 15th. Man, that is very, very close. But yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully this one actually lives up to the hype. Again, keep your hype levels in check. We will wait and see. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.